Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we have a short one for you with Seve. He's going to talk about cultural impact in tech. So I feel like this is a really important topic for this time because people really want to make a change in the world. They really want to make an impact in a positive way. And tech is one avenue to do that in. And Seve's doing it. He's going to show us how.
Working at CZI, I feel like it's a big opportunity to create impact in both like a social and cultural way. What are some of the things that you're working on currently?
So right now, within CZI, there's three initiatives. There's the science education, and then there's also the justice and opportunity initiative. Within CZI, I'm in the science initiative, and then within that, I'm on the single cell team. And essentially, we're working with single cell biology. Personally, I'm helping develop tooling for scientists out in the world, and eventually, going to help build a consortium of data to help single cell biologists.
And when the biologists get this data that you're collecting for them, what are some of the things that enables them to do?
One of the big goals that we have is we're trying to help this global initiative called the Human Cell Atlas. And to help like draw some comparisons, you can think of the Human Genome Project. The Human Genome Project was an effort across the world to map out the human genome, like the genes within it, what genes mean, what they do, and stuff like that. Human Cell Atlas is an initiative to basically map out the human body and all the cells within it. So a bunch of the work is like discovering new cells. Like so you and I could think of a lung cell, but lung cell can be classified as like thousands of other cells, right? There's like different parts, different mechanisms within the lung, and then within those different parts, mechanisms, there's individual cells that have their own function.
I feel like the Human Genome Project was such like a big advancement forward, and I'm curious with this cell project, like I can't even begin to imagine the things that are going to be possible.
Like some people thought, like, well, if we map out the human genome, we'll be able to cure cancer. And unfortunately, that wasn't a direct result of it. Maybe with the human atlas, if we have a atlas of what a healthy human looks like, it will help us better identify what an unhealthy human looks like. And if we can do these one-to-one mappings of a healthy cell versus a non-healthy cell, it will help us say like what went wrong, what is wrong, and what differences cause what symptoms and stuff like that.
That's amazing. And how did you get into working with like social impact type of tooling for computer science? Was it something that you were wanting to get into, or did you just kind of land there?
So a lot of this was kind of things just falling into place. Honestly, when I found out about CZI, it was them calling me and me not calling them. So I had to do a bunch of research about what CZI was. And it just happened to be like one of the perfect places. So, I mean, if I had known about CZI, I definitely would have been ambitious and tried to land a spot there because, I mean, for me, computer science and social good have been like there's been a lot of overlap. I was first learning computer science or actually like building things in junior college. So like I was on a sports team, I was working at a tutor center, and I was like working at studying at a study hall. And I was like constantly building things for the things around me. And like that's social good without even knowing it. And it was like easy to build these things because you know the things adjacent to you best, right? You know the needs, you know what the people that use the things look like, what they need, how they use things, like where the friction is and stuff like that. It's super easy to make things work better because you're a user, right? If you're a user of the thing that you're making, like that's great. That's why like social good is like it's not something like I've strived to do. It's just like one of the easier things to do just because it's everywhere. I feel like people that are closer to you and that like aren't looking for things will they're more open for help because they weren't expecting it. Like if you're trying to sell a product, people are gonna be super critical because they're paying for it, right? But if you're like, hey, I built this thing and I think it can help you, and here's how it's gonna help you, they'll be like, oh, this is really cool. Let's try and use it. And if they don't like things, it's more of like a communication thing and like a discussion rather than demands. So that's like why I really liked it. It was like something that helped me hone in on my skills while also like providing people close to me a benefit. And then they were also like not demanding things from me and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's almost like computer science at its core is a tool to be used for social change. I'm curious in What way, like, what do you see the potential as computer science for this social impact? Like, where can it go?
I mean, Jeremy always says like we're at a time where anybody with a laptop can do something crazy. And more people are getting laptops and more people are getting internet and the possibilities endless. Like there's problems out there in the world that I can't comprehend. Like and I'm not saying like these are like super difficult problems. I mean, these are just super abstract to me because just different cultures and different problems. So some kid in Africa can build something that is like incredibly powerful for his community and something that I just can't build because I don't have the cultural understanding and I can't like touch those problems. And I think that's like the people who should be building the things. I don't think some random contractor in Utah should be building something for some kid in Africa, right? Because there's just too much translation happening. Like if all the problems can be solved by the people who are faced by those problems and all the benefits that come from building that problem are given right back to the community that has that problem, like it's a closed system where there's just benefit for everybody there, and I think it's super cool.
Do you see that there's a sort of intersection between just making a product that can create a social impact and having a product that's also economically viable? Is there like an intersection where that happens?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Like, I mean, the founders of 501(c)(3)s make money, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I totally think it's an okay thing to make money if you have a nonprofit.
And so what would you say for someone who wants to create like a social impact, knowing where you're at now, knowing the projects that you've created, how would you advise them to, start in this wanting to make a change for their community?
You don't have to be ambitious. I mean, usually the answer is like right under your nose. You look at the problems that you face daily and like where you're spending time that you really don't want to be spending time, and there's usually a problem behind that. And those tend to be the easiest solved because you're so directly connected to them.
The interview really got me thinking, just in my daily life, what are some of the issues that I face, some of the struggles that my community, the place I live in, that they face, and how I can really solve those. Because as Seve said, you are the best fit for the problems that you know. So I think I'm going to take a lot from that, and I hope you do as well. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and we'll see you all next time.